If you want to know how the placebo effect works, then here it is. My interest in this was kindled when I used to work in research and development in the pharmaceutical industry, and I was helping to develop medicines for cardiovascular disease and cancer. And at that time, the placebo effect was widely dismissed in the sense that people would just ignore it or say it's a figment of the imagination. In fact, the conventional accepted wisdom in the industry at the time was it doesn't really exist. The people who improved on placebo, that was going to happen to them anyway. So it was referred to as the natural course of a condition. But now we know that's not actually true. What actually happens is when you take a placebo, believing it to be an actual drug for something, your brain does what it needs to do, what it can do, to meet whatever expectation you have. Now let me give you an example of that. Let's take an example of pain, because it's one of the most well-studied research fields in the placebo effect. So let's suppose you've got a pain somewhere, maybe it's in your back or your hip or your leg or somewhere else in the body, on your body, and you take a painkiller, or what you think is a painkiller. It's been secretly swapped for a placebo. Now what you'll find is most of the time your pain will still go away, or it will diminish somewhat. Now when you took that placebo believing it to be a real drug, you had an expectation, and the expectation was, when I take this tablet, I expect my pain to go away or reduce somewhat. So what your brain now does is the brain says, okay, how do I meet that expectation given the available resources I have? Well, to meet that expectation, what your brain has available to it is endogenous opioids. Now, endogenous opioids are your brain's own natural versions of morphine. See, morphine is an opioid. An endogenous opioid is one that belongs to you. It's produced from within your body, so it's referred to as an endogenous opioid. So to meet your expectation, your brain produces and releases endogenous opioids, and then your pain goes away or it diminishes somewhat. So it wasn't just a figment of your imagination, nor was that just going to happen anyway. It was an actual real reduction in pain caused by the production of endogenous opioids in your brain, which were caused by the expectation that you had of a reduction in pain. Isn't that absolutely fascinating? So the placebo effect isn't just a figment of your imagination. It's not that something's going to happen anyway. Your mind, your expectations actually drive physical effects inside your brain, which produce the pain-killing effect in this context.